Nice to see you. So, what do you think of Donald Trump's comments on NATO?
I think they're really out of step with where our military is, where our foreign policy's been. It's definitely a curveball. I think a lot of folks are struggling to catch up with the latest comments, but I think veterans are really looking for a more comprehensive approach to how he's going to address national security, the veterans community, our military. There are 22 million veterans in America. They're bipartisan, and they vote. Our members voted over 93%. So they're really paying close attention to all these comments, and even to the fact that Mike Pence last night is the son and he's a father of a veteran, and his father himself was a Korean War veteran. So that's a new angle for our community, and I think we're going to be looking for those kinds of signals and signs.
What does Donald Trump need to say in tonight's news? Because he's expressed his support for veterans many times in the primary season, right?
Yeah. He needs to get down to basics and give us specifics. I mean, it's easy to say, I'm going to clean up the VA, right? That's like saying, I'm going to clean up Washington. Sounds great in the media.
He says he's going to accept personal calls. He'd make a personal call to get things done.
Right. Yeah, well, that's not going to work, okay? I mean, you better get a lot of phones for that, because there are millions of veterans in this country who need help. But we need to hear about how he's going to reform the VA, how he's going to improve the backlog. Will he defend the GI Bill? Right now, the Senate's trying to cut the GI Bill by $3 billion. And Trump hasn't said he'll oppose that. So we want to hear specifics about that and how he's actually going to help our veterans get to the front of these lines.
He says he wants to modernize the Army, but that'll cost like $500 billion.
The Army's pretty modern. I mean, you know, this comment that we need to rebuild our military. I mean, our military is the greatest military on earth. That's not a partisan statement. But again, we need to hear specifics. What does that actually mean for the private serving overseas? And we also want to hear that he remembers that there are folks in Iraq and Afghanistan right now. We've heard Benghazi probably 10 times more than we've ever heard Iraq and Afghanistan, and people are in Iraq and Afghanistan right now. So the military wants to hear that they're not forgotten. There are going to be folks watching right now, tonight, from Iraq and Afghanistan. They want to hear that the future commander-in-chief remembers them.
He said again that he wanted to really crack down hard on ISIS, but he never really says how many troops he would send if that boots on the ground. Do you know what his policy is when it comes to getting rid of ISIS?
No, we don't. I mean, when it comes to the troop numbers, for example, I think that's been a moving target. You know, recently the president made a statement about troop numbers in Afghanistan that was a bit of a surprise. And I think, again, we're concerned that the rest of America is watching Kim Kardashian and not what's happening on the ground in Iraq and Afghanistan. So troop numbers matter. How long we're going to be there matters. And the fact that we're tired. You know, the military has been at war for going on 2 decades. And we need to know that our commander-in-chief understands that we're tired, we need support, and we need specifics. You can't just throw that rhetoric out there, because now veterans have become the new populist applause line. It's easy to say, I love veterans. Everybody stands up, you get a big round of applause. But how are you actually going to do it? That's the hard stuff.
Paul Rieckhoff, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you,
We
ma'am.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.